I really like this Tennessee hire. I really do. I really like it because it's not the flashy name. It's Jeremy Pruitt, longtime assistant under Nick Saban. And I realize some of this is a copycat looking for the next Kirby Smart. Kirby came from the Nick Saban coaching tree, moved on to Georgia, and Georgia's now in the college football playoff in year number 2. Kirby Smart's been great. You know, Georgia forever has had the reputation of Georgia-ing. Big spot, big opponent, down goes Georgia. This year, they didn't do that. I mean, yes, they went to Auburn and got waxed. But in the rematch of the SEC title game, they rose to the challenge. They're not built like an old Georgia team that flames out. They're built like Alabama. They've got a smart quarterback that makes smart decisions and doesn't try to do too much. They've got great running backs. They pound the rock. They pound you to submission offensively. Good offensive line play. And a great swarming defense. Sound like somebody else in the SEC? So Kirby Smart has taken the magic potion of Alabama and put it in Georgia. And guess what? You can recruit at Georgia the same way you can recruit at Alabama. They don't have all the national championships. But where do you think Alabama gets a lot of its players from? The same exact high schools Georgia recruits its players from. How many times do you think that Alabama, Nick Saban, the guys in Tuscaloosa go right across that state border and go recruit the hell out of the state of Georgia and Atlanta? So Georgia can win at that level. They can. They absolutely can. That has always been one of the best jobs in all of college football. So I don't expect Jeremy Pruitt to do that soon with Tennessee. You're not going to immediately turn Tennessee into an SEC champion in year 2. But it's not the splashy hire. It's not an inexperienced hire. I realize that Team Martin didn't have a head coaching job either. But for Pruitt, he's been in the SEC, learning under Saban for years. He knows the area, knows the program, knows the recruiting, knows the competition. Now, Team Martin obviously played at Tennessee. I think Pruitt is the smarter hire than Team Martin. I wanted to see Mike Leach at Tennessee. I would love to see what he does with that offense in a conference like that where everybody plays ground and pound. I would love to see Mike Leach do air raid at Rocky Top. But it's also high risk, high reward. I realize when you hire Mike Leach, you get some of the prickly Mike Leach. I think Jeremy Pruitt would be a great hire, is a great hire. Looks like it's finalized. That's Tennessee's next head coach. I think he's smart. I think it's inexperienced because he hasn't been a head coach, but he knows the ground. He knows the battleground. He knows the culture. He knows what's going on. He's been in those recruiting battles. He has recruited the Southeast. He has recruited the SEC. And he stood across the sideline from Tennessee every year when he's been in Alabama. I think it's a very smart hire. And I was pessimistic on Philip Fulmer taking over. The one thing I worry about there is if Fulmer wants to be the big dog, and so he wants a young, no-ego coach or an inexperienced coach that he automatically has leverage over, that would worry me. Because I don't know where Philip Fulmer is from an ego standpoint, from a power standpoint. You know, maybe he's worried about bringing in a veteran coach that would clash with what he wants. I hope he's not hiring Pruitt hoping that this guy's a puppet or a pushover. But I do like the hire. I really do. And the fact is, there's a lot of Saban assistants that have worked. I mean, Lane Kiffin is a nudge. Lane Kiffin is a bozo sometimes, but Lane Kiffin is making it work at FAU. Undefeated in the Conference USA. Won the conference. They were a 3-win team the last 3 years. Just won the Conference USA going away. There was nobody in the conference even close to them. That's a Lane Kiffin effect. Obviously, Kirby Smart. Saban has a tree where you trust a lot of the guys that have come off of it. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. I like the hire.